cool. I don't know if anybody's, ooh. That wasn't me, by the way. I wish I had that voice. Um, I don't know if you've looked at any of these, but they come out pretty good. They look, other than my face, it looks pretty good. The quality's good, and all the stuff's there. So if anybody does miss a class, they can always look at these. And um, I don't think I'm going to do this again next year. But I can just say, hey, go look at the videos. They're on YouTube, and we'll see what happens.
Ted, on
Um,
that order, I was looking at the first one. I was trying to review the first two, got through part of the first one, and I thought it was very good. Not commenting on how I looked, but how you looked. So,
Good, good. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
yeah.
Most people have my contact information. So if as I said, it's just too much work for me to do this every year, because even when I do it the next year, at my age, I have to review everything and see that everything's in order. Um, so I will probably just say to people, go look at the videos. And and you guys are obviously, if you ever want to contact me and say, hey, I went back to my folders and I'm thinking about doing this. What should I do? How should I approach this? Because sometimes you think to yourself, I think I know what I want to do, but you don't want to go ahead and do it and then find out, oh, nope, that was wrong. You just deleted everything on your hard drive. So, feel free to call me anytime. So, all right, we're recording now. And this is funny. I have these in my ears, so it feels like I'm underwater. My voice sounds like it's underwater, but we'll stumble through this for sure. This is a good session, I think. And so I'm sorry that everybody's missing it, but that's they can always go back and look at it. So before I do, I wanted to just make sure that everybody is okay with importing. We talked about that last time, and I wondered if anybody had gone out and tried it or did anything that confused them or saw something that didn't look right, or changed anything. Did anybody try anything new with importing? No, you just did the same old stuff. You said Ted doesn't know what he was talking about.
No. This not the session before that, the last one. I did some of the what was it that we were making? Was it folders or something? And I used
Yeah.
that quite a bit. It's over the holidays. I haven't done as much, but I am getting ready for my big transfer of everything.
Yeah.
So
Well, one of the things that I was going to say to everybody when they were here, but if they listen to the video, they'll hear it's 2025. Could there be a more perfect time to say, starting now, I'm going to put in the year 2025. And I'm, as long as we're doing that, I'm just going to switch over to the presentation on the share.
okay.
Screen one and share. Okay, so you can see that, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, here we go. I've got, just so you see everything, there's 2025. Now, it's grayed out because I don't have anything yet in here. I probably could have put something in because I do have a couple of pictures on my camera. And I'm going out today to shoot a little bit, but this is a great time to say, let's do 2025. And so here I am at 2025. And since I don't have it in there, I would start by saying, create a folder inside there. And just like I do,
I'm not sure we're seeing the exact screen you want us to see.
oh, really?
Well, it has at the top December 6th, 2024.
Really?
Session 4 outline.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, hang on. Where did Zoom go? There we are. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so here I am. Oh, I just clicked on the wrong screen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it should be screen one, right? Yeah. No, that's interesting. Oh, I know why. I know why. I know why. Sorry. Okay. Here we are. Now, and that should look a little better.
This folder.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's cancel out of there for just a second. So
Yeah.
this is the way I always do things, the year and the quarter, right? So today is, now we're in 2025 Q1. So I'll create a folder inside 2025 and call it 2025. Q1. Okay, now I have a place to put my images from today's shoot when I do it. Uh, Obviously, there's nothing in there right now. So, like I said, now is a great time to do it because starting a new year, put the new year in, and going forward, let's put all of our photos in this format. And then it's very easy if you know, as you were saying, Betsy, you're going to go back and try and at least start putting some of those older photos into this same format. That's pretty easy, Betsy. I'd be glad to, kind of spend a little bit of time with you going through how to do that based on your specifics.
Alrighty.
Okay. So, so that's good. I mean, the question was, have you tried anything? And looks like you're going to try to move forward with that. Tessa, have you had any chance to try any of this stuff?
Yes, and but I had been away from it long enough that I goofed. So I have a bunch of photos that aren't under a folder. And I wasn't going to bring that up now. Let you go forward and I'll figure it out or ask you a question.
Sure.
I need
And
to.
and don't worry about moving photos within folders. You can move them around in, if you put it into the wrong year or you put it into the wrong quarter, don't worry about it. Just drag and drop it to the right folder and you're fine. Okay. So I'm just as that if that's one of your problems, that's easy to do. So yeah, that's fine. Call me when you need me. We'll try to work through it. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, anything else you want to ask about before we go on to collections? Okay,
I don't.
all right. We're ready to rock and roll then. Um, so what are collections? Remember what I'm thinking off the top of my head, how far back do I want to go? I was born a poor black child and no, um, that's a line from an old movie, by the way. So I really want to I want you to keep in mind that that Adobe, in their wisdom, sort of thought about how to organize folders. We talked about all that and we said that most of the things that I've seen, most of the good photographers and computer people suggest a chronological setup, which is what we've done. Okay, so that's the basics of your entire structure. It's a chronological order of folders. So when you look at mine, it's all chronological. It starts at the oldest year and goes down to the newest. So if you wanted to quickly find something and you knew you'd just taken it this week, you'd automatically jump into, say 2024 Q4, and there's the pictures from Christmas. Fine. Okay. Because we know that we can find things in many, many different ways. We can search for things many, many different ways. And we're going to see some of that stuff as we move along in the next sessions. But collections is a wonderful way to do the same kind of thing. Organize your folders, or excuse me, organize your photos in a different way. And you can organize them in terms of some kind of commonality. Okay, so holiday pictures or wildlife pictures or pet pictures or your 5-star pictures, those are all things that you might want to do. And collections are Adobe's way of allowing us to group those, to see those, to view them without messing up our folder structure. Our folder structures never change, no matter what we do in collections. They never change. The photos within those never change. They never move. We don't duplicate them ever. So collections are really just pointers. So let me step back 1 second again and say that folders exist on your hard drive. Those are simply sitting there on your computer. And you can see those even without Lightroom. You can go into, whether it's the Windows Explorer on the PC or the Finder in Mac, you can look at those photos outside of Lightroom. I'm not telling you to do that because we know that we always do anything that we're going to do in folders within Lightroom, but you can see them. Collections only exist in the catalog. So the catalog is, it contains a list of pointers. So when you create a collection is really just a list. It's a list of the photos that you want to see in that collection. So let's start the easy way. We'll look at Quick Collection. I don't know if you've ever used Quick Collection or you know what it is, but I'm going to explain how that works. So here is the Quick Collection. I have one photo in it. You can see that I have one photo in it. I just did that so that something would show up when I went to Quick Collections. Quick Collection is something that you'd use for temporary collection. So if you are looking through your folder, looking through your photos, and you said, gee, I want to find some photos that I might use for creating a Christmas card, or I just want whatever the reason you might want to create a temporary collection. So you start looking through your photos, and you've got this Quick Collection as a place to store those. So let's just kind of randomly go through 2024. Okay. And there happens to be a whole bunch of photos. These are all my photos from 2024. If I wanted to add these to that Quick Collection, you notice that one's already in there, right? That little puppy you see, that's already in there. If I wanted to add other ones, how would I do that? Well, there's a number of different ways that you can do that. You can drag and drop a photo in there. So let's just grab this one. Grab it, drop it in Quick Collections. Now there's two in there. And if I look, there they are. Okay, so you can drag and drop it in there. You'll also notice that there is a little, I don't even know if you can see this, there's a tiny circle, okay, right at the top right of your photos. Can you happen to see that where my cursor is? And there's a little hint there, add photo to Quick Collection. So if I click on that little circle, you'll see that it did also added it to the Quick Collection. Okay. I know that one was hard to see, but if you play with your own photos, you'll see that at the top right of all of these, there's a little circle. And in fact, if you hover over that little circle after you've added it, it says photo is in Quick Collection. So that little circle will tell you what collections your photos are in. So if I had any of them in the collections down here, it would also show up in that little circle. Okay, so there's two ways. You can drag and drop it. You can click the little circle. So let's add another one. So I select this photo. I can go up to Photo, and I can come down here, and I can find somewhere in here. There it is, right at the top. Add to the Quick Collection. Do you see that? Okay. It says Add to Quick Collection. The nice thing is too, do you notice to the right of that, Add to Quick Collection, it says the letter B. I see everybody looking. Is that, can you see that? Yes, no, maybe so.
What am I trying to do? Yeah, my screen comes up as really quite tiny, and I don't know why it always does that. In this instance, I don't know, But yeah, I know, but I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
also
so
if I don't look,
can you maximize your screen? No?
well, I did do the I did the view, what was it? View
Full screen or?
yeah, full screen.
Okay.
Now the weird thing is that I'm trying to click on this meeting is being recorded and I can't get to the okay because the number of people in the meeting keeps showing up. Oh, there. Now I finally figured out how to move that out of the way. All right.
There you go.
Okay. I
Okay.
am with you.
Okay,
Okay.
so you can see that my submenu has come up that's because I clicked on photo at the
Mm-hmm.
top in the menu. And the first item is add to quick collection. Okay,
Yep. Yep.
all right. And beside that is the letter B.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's, and you look down that column and you can see that it always shows you the hotkey to get something done. So yeah, I could click on this with that photo selected, and you'll see that it added it to the collection, right? There it is. But I could also go back here to 2024, click on this photo and hit the letter B. That's the hotkey to do the same thing. So if I just hit the letter B on my keyboard, letter B, I'll click it now. Okay, it says add to quick collection. And now that is in there.
Very
Okay.
good.
So there's all these ways to do that, but I'm going to say right now, be very, very careful of using the letter B,
Mm.
because if I go back now to 2024 and I say, okay, I want to add some photos to the collection, and I say, I want to add this one, and I hit the letter B. Notice it says add to quick collection. And then by mistake, I come back to this one and I say, oh, I like that one too. And I forget that I had put it in there and I hit the letter B. Remove from quick collection. So the
Mm.
letter B will remove it if you've already had it in there. Okay, so just be careful using the letter B. You've got enough ways to do this, so there's no reason to, settle on any one way. You can drag and drop it. You can right click it and say add to quick collection. You can hit the letter B. You can click the little circle at the top, check, and in fact, check to see. See if I click on this, it says add to photo to quick collection. Oh, I know that's tough to see because I'm hovering over that tiny, tiny circle, but it's just the top right corner of that photo. And it says add it to photo collection. So now I know that it's not in there. So if I click it and I come back and I say, look at it again, it says photo is in quick collection. So that's one way to do it that's a little more careful than hitting that letter B. Okay? Questions? That's a mouthful right there.
Can you give us an example of why you would use a quick collection versus going straight to collections?
Yeah, it's considered the temporary collection. So there'll be times when you say, I just want to go through and I know I have all these pictures of uh, let's say you're going to send somebody a print of their kids. I do this occasionally where I'll send somebody a picture of my cousin's son or daughter, and I pick up I search for all the pictures of Amanda. And now I've got like 150 of them. So I go through and I just hit B, or I hit drag and drop, or I do whatever I want to add a bunch of pictures of Amanda to the temporary collection. Then I can click on the temporary collection and search through and say, which one of these is the best one? And I can narrow it down that way rather than trying to pick the best one from, a random number of folders and everything else. Okay. So that's sort of one example. But there are many times when you'll find that you say, okay, I just want to hold these 5 pictures to look at and do something with them. So it's a temporary collection. I guess that's the best example I can give. It's just a temporary collection. You don't want to keep it forever. You just want to do something with it and then get rid of it. So for example, I can come up here and click and right click on the quick collection and say clear the quick collection. And that will clear out all those photos they will be removed from the collection. Okay. Or I could say, save the quick collection. Say I just wanted to get that temporary collection. And then I say, hey, this is a pretty good one. I like this because it has all of my sunset pictures or something, you know, whatever you put in there. And you could save it as a collection, and that will drop it down here under the collections, and we'll see that in a little bit, okay? So it might be just a way to get the collection together and then save it once you're satisfied with what's in there. Okay.
You could use it when you're deciding what to use, if you're going to put something in a competition.
Sure, absolutely.
And I use it if in another club, sometimes I have to run a meeting and people send me pictures to share, but it's a one-shot deal. You know, when that session is over, then you get rid of them. So
yeah, so that's good. Now, so, and again, as long as we got there, you could save that quick collection. You could clear the quick collection. You notice set as target collection is dimmed. That's because the quick collection is already set as target collection. But just to digress for 1 second, I could come down here and set this as the target collection. So I wrote empty collection. Now that's the target collection. Okay, so let's assume you came up here. Now I'm in the quick collection. If I clicked here and hit the letter B, it said add target to empty collection. So the letter B now doesn't throw it up in the quick collection. It puts it wherever the quick collection is. And I made empty collection the target collection. So be careful of the letter B, because it's going to put it in wherever the target collection is. Okay. So it's important to remember it's only going to put it wherever the target collection is assigned. And just kind of a preview. The target collection is a great thing, and we're going to see that, because if you're just going through and you want to go through all your pictures and put them in a collection of some kind, sunsets, and you want to go through all of your old photos, and you find a sunset picture and you hit B, and you find another one, you hit B. That's great, as long as you have the sunset collection as the target collection, then they will all go in there. Okay, so that's it's just very important to remember you've got a bunch of different ways to add photos to the collection, but just remember which collection you're going to add it to. Make sure that you've got the target collection that you want. Make sure you're hitting the letter B only once, because if you hit it once and then hit it again, it removes it. So these are all little warnings when you're moving collections, photos into collections. Okay. All right. Finally, let's do one more way to add photos to collections. And that's, I think it's pretty cool, but it's also another one where you have to be careful. Okay. The paintbrush. So the paintbrush, probably nobody uses the paintbrush. Nobody in our classes, I don't think anyway. You might, but it's a cool way to do kind of a mass change or move or whatever you want to do in here. And this is how it works. Here's the paintbrush down here. You can see that guy, right? There's the paintbrush. And if I click on paintbrush, look at what's next to it. There's a little tag that says, what is it you want to do with the paintbrush? And it's already set to target collection. I could change that. I could change it to keywords and add a keyword to a whole bunch of different photos. I could change it to label. I could change it to flag if I wanted deleted or picked or whatever. The rating, if I wanted to pick all my 5-star ratings, I could go through and change this to rating and click 5-star. Those are all things you can do. So I'm opening up your mind to, you can use that any way you want. Right now it's set to target collection. Okay. So that means that when I use the paintbrush and I hit it on a photo, it will hit, excuse me, it'll add the photo to the target collection. So let's just come down. Now you could see can you see where the paintbrush is now? It's
Yes.
right on that lower left-hand photo. If I click on that, watch what happens to, oh, wait a minute, no, I don't want it to be the I'm just gonna add it to the quick collection. So I'm setting this back, setting the quick collection back to target collection, okay?
Mhm.
So whatever I do now with the letter B or the paintbrush is going to add it to quick collection. Now I can click it and you notice it went from 6 to 7. Now there's 7 photos here and you'll notice that the little dog is in there. Okay. Okay, let's go back down here. But the reason we use the paintbrush is because we can spray a whole bunch of these. So I can spray right along and take the next 3 just by holding the mouse down and spraying each of the next 3 photos, and it should go up to 10 up here. So let me do that. Look at that. I just sprayed those. Now they're all in there. I could do the same thing to the next line. Just spray them all. Now there's 14. So it's a quick way to spray those photos into the target collection. Okay, so there you have, as I would consider it, too many ways to add photos to a collection. Okay, so now as you look, you can see that all of those photos are in there. Remember, you can remove them any number of different ways. You know, if I click on this photo, oops, I just didn't do anything because I sprayed it, but it's already in the target collection. So let me put the paintbrush back away by putting it back right beside where it says paint and clicking. Okay, now the paintbrush is back in its holder. So now if I click on it, it selects the photo, right? And if I come up here and I say photo, remove from quick collection, it would remove it. I'll do that for this one. Okay, it's gone. I could select this photo, right mouse, and remove from quick collection. I could hit this one and I could hit the letter B and that would remove it from the quick collection. So these are all ways to remove it from the quick collection. This is something that the first time you start to do collections, go in, play around with this, show no inhibitions. You can't break anything, okay? Just have fun with it. Add them, remove them, okay? You're not deleting them. Don't hit delete and things like that. Well, let's not go there. You're not trying to hit, don't say delete this photo. You just want to remove it from the collections. All of those are ways to do it. But that's a good thing to do because you'll say, oh, wow, look what happened when I did that. I didn't think that was going to happen. And then you'll figure out why, you know, what did I just do wrong or correctly, or, you know, play with it. Just play with it because that's the only way you'll get good at it. And then creating collections becomes a lot easier. As long as you know how to create them and add photos, you're 80% of the way there. Okay, so far?
Yep.
Okay, good, okay. So that shows you how to do a quick collection, but more often than not, we want to do a real collection. Collections are down here, okay? And I want to create collections down here that will help me group particular photos together. You can see I did, I've got a couple of things in there. I've got the CCV, obviously that's things so that I could play around with the, you know, the collections for the class. So I have all these little things in here that I was playing around with. But I have Christmas pictures. If I click on Christmas pictures, I don't see anything because Christmas pictures is a collection set. Betsy, you okay? All of a sudden I looked up and all I see is the sunset. Oh, there she is.
I'm sorry, I had to.
That's okay.
The sunroom was open and it was quite a draft.
Oh, okay. I was just hoping that you hadn't keeled over and I didn't see
Nope,
it. So
I'm good.
okay, good. All right. So if I hover over Christmas pictures, it says collection set, Christmas pictures. That's a collection set is a set of collections. So you can't put photos in a collection set, but you can add a collection. And why would you do that? It's just like in the folders where we have, these years that are 2020 to 2029. There's no pictures in that folder. There are other folders that contain pictures. Okay, it's the same way with collections. When I create a collection set called Christmas pictures, then I can put collections in there, Christmas 2021, 22, 23. That's just an example of the way you could do this. But it's a way to organize them, again, so that you don't have 500 collections running down the left side of your screen. The unfortunate thing is I don't think this works. Whoops. Let me see if it does. No, it doesn't. You know how, no, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Don't worry about that. So this is a collection, let's try that again. This is a collection set. When you open it up, you will see collections. And when I hover over, it says collection. I know sometimes these are hard to see, Betsy, because it is kind of small.
I did zoom in a little bit and it's better.
Oh, good. Okay. So you have a collection set. You don't have to have a collection set. I can just create a collection called, that should show up at the top. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's the cold. Let me stop
There you
that.
go.
Okay. Well, I showed you how to create a collection within a collection set, but I didn't want to do that. I'm going to delete that. Yes, delete. Let's see what I did. This is a good example of going too fast, children, and even the teacher goes too fast. I want to create a collection, but I don't want to create a collection inside a collection set. I just want to create it. So that's what I did wrong. So if you want it to just be at the highest level, don't put it inside a collection set. However, if you want to create one inside a collection set, you could say, which one of these do you want to put it in? Okay, but I don't. I just want to create a collection. I want to call it AAA. And okay, all right, perfect. So I just created a collection, called it that so that it would stay at the top. AA is going to come first. And you can see that that's a collection. Okay. There are so many ways, as usual, to create collections, to delete collections. And I just wanted to show you a couple of those. So I could say, if I wanted to delete this, I could do it the way I did it before, come down here and say delete. Or I can just select it and say minus. And if you can't see this or you want me to slow down, just yell or wave your arms or, spit at the screen, whatever. So I click the delete and that should do it. Yep, it's going to let me delete it. And there goes AA, AAA, gone. Okay, so this is almost review because this is very much like creating a folder or deleting a folder, same difference. You can even move these around, you can move a folder around. So I have a collection set called Christmas Pictures. I have one called CCV. If I wanted to move one of these around and put Christmas 2021 in CCV, I could do that. That wouldn't make any sense, of course, but I could do it. And if I realized, oh, I didn't mean to do that, I can just move it back again and put it in Christmas. So moving, adding, deleting of the collections is pretty easy. Okay. So you've got many ways to do it now. There's more. I'm sure there's more. You can, and as a matter of fact, you saw if I'm on Christmas pictures, I can add a folder in, excuse me, a collection in there, create a collection. It says, do you want to put it inside Christmas pictures? Yes. And I could say Christmas. Oh, I don't have 2024, so I can do that. So there you go. Before I hit create, let's just run through these little options here. I said, yes, create it inside Christmas pictures. Okay. So as I create this new collection, I want to put it inside Christmas pictures. I could change that, but that, that wouldn't make any sense. I clicked on there for a purpose. It's a Christmas pictures. I want to put the Christmas 2024 inside Christmas pictures. Okay, so I leave that alone. Set as target collection. Let me just select that on, and it's going to make Christmas 2024 my target collection. Now that might make some sense, a lot of sense, because if you create this collection, then you could go through your photos and start hitting them with a B or hitting them with the paintbrush, and they'll automatically go into Christmas 2024. So after you create the collection, you want to add pictures to it, so you make it the target collection. That's fine. You can do that, or you might leave it alone and do it later. Sync with Lightroom. I hope you remember this, because I think you guys came to the peer group review thing where we talked about syncing with Lightroom and using this collection as a website. And I'm going to talk a lot about that later, but this is where you could start by doing that. So if you say sync this photo with Lightroom, sync this collection with Lightroom, it will immediately sync those photos that you put in here up to Lightroom, and you can do some more stuff with it. Create that website that I talked about before, and I will show you that, I promise, but not right now. But that's a start. So you say sync it with Lightroom, and there you go. Everything will go up there. Watch what happens when I do that too. Okay, so I said sync with Lightroom. Do you see, this is very small, but can you see the little lightning bolt that's to the left of Christmas 2024?
Yep.
That indicates, as it says, what does that say?
Click to
Oh,
stop.
click to stop syncing this collection with Lightroom. That means it's already syncing, and if you click on that, it will stop. It's a toggle. You turn it on or off. So I could stop it, and it would say stop syncing. Okay, that's fine. And then I could click it again, and it would say sync. So it's just a toggle. It's an on-off switch. It's a light switch. Okay. You notice that also, as a result of clicking on make this the target collection, you see the little plus sign beside Christmas 2024. Okay, so that means that anytime, if I were to go back up here to 2024 Q4, and I know there's going to be some Christmas pictures way down here. So I look at this one, there's a Christmas picture, and I click and I select this one, and I say B. It will say add to target collection 2024, and there's a picture. Okay. Is that the one I clicked on? Well, let's hope so. Oh, yes, it was. Okay. All right.
So you, to do that, you keep the Christmas 2024 highlighted while you're going through the photos, if I got that right?
No, remember, it's the plus sign that indicates that
okay.
that's where the photos will go. That plus
Okay.
sign is telling you, if I was going to go back now to 2023 to my photos up here and look through those to add them, I might go to Christmas 2023 and say set as target collection now. And now anything I add will go into Christmas 2023. So it's very easy to change the target collection. And then whenever you hit the B, it'll go in there. Or whenever you say photo add to target collection up here, it will go into that target collection. Right now it goes to 2023. If I change it to here, it'll now go to 2024. So pretty easy to change the target collection. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've seen this actually 4 types of collections. There's that quick collection, that temporary one that sits up at the top here, which is kind of, it's a great thing to have. It's easy, it's quick. Is I always leave the quick collection as my target collection. I always leave it there. So once I'm through down here, I wouldn't leave the target collection as 2024. When I'm through doing what I'm doing down there, I go back up and I click on quick collection, say set as target collection, so that in the off chance that I hit a B somewhere in there, it'll go into the quick collection, and I will at least know that anything that goes into the quick collection when I'm not using it must be a mistake. And I can go look at the quick collection and say, oh yeah, I must have been playing around and didn't even notice that I hit the letter B or something like that. So I just make that's kind of a safeguard. Otherwise, I have no idea where, well, no, let's not go there either. I can explain something later, but we can always look at this little thing here, right? And it says, this little circle, it'll tell you what collections this is in. So let me do that. Let me just do that, okay? I'm going to do, because it is good to see, okay? I click on this one and I hit the letter B. If I hit the letter B on this, even though it's in the quick collection, it should add it to Christmas 2023, right? There it is, it went up. You notice it doesn't decrease the quick collection. When you add something to a collection, you can add it to 100 collections, and it will be in 100 collections. How do you know what collections it's in? Photo is in target collection. Okay, so let's just, oops. Oh, you're just a pain in the butt. Okay, 2024. Okay, now when I do this, oh, you're bugging me. For a second. Okay. I want to. Sometimes this thing gets really confused. I'm going to figure that one out later. I'm not going to slow down and just completely stop here. But generally, and I've seen this, if I hover over this little circle, it'll tell me what collections it's in. It'll actually list the collections. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But anyway, that's neither here nor
Right,
there.
yeah, right now your target collection is 22,
I know, and that's
not helping you, I don't.
not helping me anyway. And it's in that one, I know that. Let me see if I remove it from there. Not in there. That's very weird. That's very, very weird for me. Okay, so all right. Let's pretend that all didn't happen. I'm going to hit Control Z. Didn't happen.
There you go.
All right. So I have three types of collections. I have a collection set. We know that that's that is a set of collections. So like here, I have Christmas pictures. There's no photos. It's showing you what's in any of the subfolders, but there's nothing specifically in Christmas pictures. It's in 2023, it's in 2022, it's in 2021. So there's really only one picture in the added to the three different collections. Boy, that if I didn't just confuse the heck out of you, you guys are good. Okay. I good Lord. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this. If I hit B on this one, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna remove this from the collection, which is 2022. There you go. That goes down to 0. You can still see there's one picture in there. This was the worst thing. This was the worst way to demonstrate this. Absolutely. But let me stick with it. Let me stick with what I was trying to say, which is collection sets are a set of collections. I have 4 collections here, 2021, 2, 3, and 4 for Christmas. Okay. I have 4 collections here. A collection does contain photos. Okay. As many as you want. And those photos can be in as many collections as you want. As you can see, the same photo is in both of these. You probably wouldn't do that, but you can do that. But you may have something like a collection called Osprey, which is which is also in the birds collection. So it's in 2 collections. That's fine to do. But only the collections will have photos in them. I'm sorry that came out the way it did, because I know that has to be a little bit confusing. The 4th kind of a collection is smart collections. This one is very cool, a little bit kind of a sideways turn from the other collections, but it allows you to do some really cool things. Remember what we said about collections. So you've got, I'm going to try to find one that's, so you would notice that these are all being synced to Lightroom in the cloud. So these I can use in those websites that I talked about. A smart collection can't be used in the cloud, and you'll see why in a second, but it can't be used in the cloud. So any of these collections, I can go up and play with those websites that have those photos in them. And that's going to be our next session, how to do that and how to organize it, make it look better and that kind of stuff. The smart collections can't be, but they are really good in terms of being able to specify what goes in them. So let me just show you what smart collections look like and why you would use them. Smart collections do all the work for you. You tell it what you want to have in there, and the smart collection will find those pictures, add those pictures to the collection, and it will even add new pictures that follow the rule. Okay, so you never have to play around with them. So here is, I think the best example is something like a 5-star. Do you want a 5-star rating? Do you want your photos that you've given a 5-star rating to? Well, the way you do that, and it's easier to show you by just editing this 5-star collection, okay? I'm going to show you what it looks like if you created a smart collection. Create a smart collection. It asks you where you want to put it. I put all of mine under smart collections. It just makes it easier to find my smart collections. And I call it whatever I want. New smart collection, that's how I would create it. And then I'm going to show you how this stuff works. But that's all you really have to do to start this, okay? You just name it, tell it where to put it, which is almost always going to be smart collections, unless you devise a better way to do it. Put it in smart collections, okay? I'm going to say cancel for now.
So Ted, you said specify, could you do things like 5-star with people?
Oh, yes. Okay, so that's what I want to show you right now.
All right.
So, okay, so I'm going to show you by showing you what is in Edit Smart Collections. Okay, so I'm editing the Smart Collection called 5 Stars. And I called it 5 Star. You can see that's the name. And it's got to match all of the following rules. This gives you a ton of flexibility. You could say match all, match any, or match none.
Hmm.
You might say, well, why would you ever want to match none? Well, you may want to have something that says not doesn't contain the keyword sunset, or doesn't I don't know. There's a let's see, what would be a good example of none? Oh, I know. So for example, it contains a keyword like my last name, McGrory, but you might not want all of the ones with my sister Ann in it. So none of them contain Ann. So you could use that as one of the rules. So you can weed things out of a greater population. So you say, look through all the pictures that have the, the last name McGrory as a keyword, but none of them should contain Ann. And then it would show all my family pictures, but none of the ones with my sister in it. I like my sister, but for this example, it works. So, um, so, so it can match any of the rules, all of the rules, or none of the rules. So if I wanted to match every single rule that I create here, then I would make all. If I said it matches just any of them, that's fine too. I could do that. But here's where you see what we can do. So this is how I create new rules that would make sense when you have match any or match all or match none. So I've created one that has the rating. You see, these are all the things you can select. You could say camera info. So I could say only my camera, specific camera, my R6 camera. I only want those. You can do size. You can have any searchable text. That can be very good. If I say any searchable text, it means any field, metadata, folder name, anything. If this text shows up in it, select it. Okay, so you could select anything you want here, but for this one, at this point, I just want to show you what this particular smart collection does. I said, if the rating is 5 stars, and I could make it 4 stars, but I want it to be 5 stars, I could make it 1 star, whatever I want to do. I make it 5 stars, and now this rule simply says, match all of the following rules. So I have to match this rule. The photo has to have a rating that is 5 stars. And I say, okay, save. And now these are all of my photos. It goes through all my photos, by the way. And we can do other things that will restrict that, which is pretty cool too. So, but this says all of my photos, anything that's a 5 star, put it in here. Okay. So you can see all of these have a rating of 5 stars. Not all of those deserve them. Many of them do not deserve them, but I use this to play around with to see if things will happen. So for example, let's do something like that. Let's go back to 2024. There's a good one. Make it 5 stars. If I select this and I hit the number 5, that makes it a 5 star rating. Okay. Let's go back to 5 stars. Okay. I didn't do anything. I didn't add that to the collection, but the 5 star said it matched the rule. Therefore, it's part of my collection. That's a very simple example of how to organize it. You could do it by keyword. So you could say, so let me do something like silly like that. Create a collection. McGrory's. Okay. I want it inside the smart collections. I don't want it to, oops, sorry, cancel. Right? Because I want to create a smart collection. I almost made it a collection. I don't want it. I want a smart collection inside smart collection. Okay. And I say, wait,
Mhm.
what happened? Well, okay. So let's edit it and see what I did wrong, right?
Mhm.
I didn't mean to hit save right away. So that's what happens to me. I got a rating that's greater than or equal to nothing. Well, guess what? All of my photos have
Every single
a
picture.
rating greater than or equal to nothing. So let's change that. Let's change it to what I really wanted to do here, which is say any searchable text. So again, if the folder name, if the photo name, if any of the metadata, if any of the keywords, any of the searchable text contains McGrory, show them to me. Okay. Now I have completely confused myself. Searchable text. Oh, once again, this is good because this shows you even the teacher could really screw it up big time. But guess what? If I took the picture, my name is McGrory, it's probably going to be on the photo, and therefore all of these 38,300 photos, there's only 500 that don't contain my name. So let's do it a different way. My cousin's name is John Roddy. Let's see what happens when I change it to Roddy. It should go from 38,300 to a much more manageable 852. These are all photos that contain, that's my cousin right there, the purple thing. No, I have, oh, okay. Now you say, why did it take that one? Do you see what's in the title of the photo? It's the folder is Roddy's Vacation. So it found that text and added it to this. Okay. So now clearly that means you got to be careful about what you do. But let's, because I do need to shoot pretty soon. But before I do, let's go back and make this one. We'll use the same thing, but let's start to make a little bit more sense. So metadata, keywords, contains, you can have, you could change this to contains all of it. So it means it has to contain all of it. So like if I put Ted McGrory, then it would have to be my name. It wouldn't pick up my sister or my father or my mother or anything. It would have to be Ted McGrory. So it has to contain all of it. So I'm going to say, let's see, a keyword that contains Charlie. Charlie was my old dog. So let's see what that does. Yep, look at that. Pictures of Charlie. Because I have a keyword. In fact, I use a people keyword that is Charlie McGrory. So Charlie, if I say Charlie, it just contains Charlie. And he's in all these pictures. There he is in that one. He's in all of these. He's even in the mirror there, isn't he? So all of these photos do contain Charlie. So smart collections can be truly cool. You can do just about anything. And these are totally non-destructive to anything. As you see, even though I created those collections and created them all wrong, as soon as I just changed the rule, it it changed the search and it found different things and just shows you, it just displays those photos. It doesn't move them, doesn't duplicate them. which is kind of cool because if collections duplicated everything, can you imagine how much space you'd take up on your disk? Every time you create a new collection, you'd duplicate those photos. So that would not be good. So the collections are just a list of the photos, and then when you click on it, you view them. Do you want to try something else, or do you want to see another example of smart collections? Like, for example, what would happen if you added this and you said, oh, you said, I want another thing. Okay, I wanted to look for things that say Charlie, any keyword that says Charlie, where the rating is greater than equal to 4. Okay, so now two things have to happen. Both of those, you said match all of those. So they got to be Charlie pictures, but they got to match all of the rules. So it has to be greater than 4 stars. Okay, so if I say save, it drops down. Now it says only 27. So there's now only some of the really excellent pictures of, where's the one with well, so these are the, some of the, you can tell these are a little better pictures anyway, because you have a 4-star rating.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and again, if I went back or I take a new picture, I can't take any more pictures of Charlie, but I could take pictures of Sam and do the same kind of thing. And if I took a picture and say, hey, that's a 4, it would get added to the smart collection right away without you doing anything. You would just say, that's a 4, then it's going to go in there. Or 4 or a 5, by the way, because you said it has to be equal to 4 stars or greater. Does that make sense? I know that's a tough concept, but once again, play with this. You can't break anything. That's what I tell my son, and he showed me that he could. But no, if you play around with it, you'll have fun with it, and you'll say, "Wow, this is a great little thing." And it starts to tell you that keywords are really cool. Yeah, if you have the right keywords in there, you can search on these things and create these collections, smart collections that are going to give you an automatic collection of certain things that you want to see. I mean, you can even do this like colored red. So the smart collection just says if the label color is red, show it. So you can come in here if if the folder is red or the photo is red. You know how to do that, right? I mean, you can you can smack a photo as red. There's what, 19 in there now. If I go in here and I say, what's red? Oh, I even forget what's color code. Set color label to red. Okay. Now I go back to my red. And there you go. It shows it in there automatically.
What church is that, Ted?
I'm sorry, what?
What
Oh,
church?
that's the chapel at Notre Dame.
Ah,
The university, not the chapel in Paris. So
okay.
Church in Paris. Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love the
It is, yeah, yeah.
Ed, this has been really helpful. I noticed that you said you have an appointment to get to. So do I, and mine's in Hyannis at 11.
Okay.
So I do need to ring off here.
Yep. But this is a perfect time to stop because from here, we want to start looking at why do we look at that little lightning bolt over there? Why do we sync these to the cloud? And what good is that? And if the collection concept now, collection sets, smart collections, and quick collections make sense to you, then you're well on your way to saying, okay, in 2 seconds, I can show people the photos that I want to show them. I don't have to spend 4 hours creating a website. I could just create a collection and sync it to the cloud, and then it's there for them. I showed you that if you came to that preview I did for the peer groups. But once you have this idea cemented in your head, I've got a lot of cement up there right now. It's a very, very cool way to show your photos. And I don't think a lot of people are using it. So you'll be way ahead of the game.
That's great.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll well run and good luck at your appointment and we'll talk again in what is this, February. So
February.
all
Great,
right.
Ted. Thanks
Thanks
so
a
much.
lot.
Thank you guys. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. We'll see you next February.
yeah.
Sure.
Take care.
Okay. All right. Now I got to stop the recording.
So
She was